Ready?
Yes.
Oh, it's on? Oh, I'm sorry.
You edit that out, I take it.
Okay, we're back to the third segment. I screwed up. I'm sorry. This is Civil Discourse Now. I'm not Paul Ogden.
And I'm not Mark Small.
I did that again.
He did that again.
That's a beautiful
so
August.
Funny.
It's a beautiful August day, and somebody's mowing the lawn because the grass is growing because we finally got water.
We finally got rain.
Yeah, our guests are City-County Councilor at Large, Zach Adamson.
Thanks.
Welcome, Zach.
Thanks.
And your email at City-County Council.
Zach.Adamson@indy.gov.
And also Jeff Cox, frequent guest. Jeff has a book coming out next year about the Java C, and he's also an attorney here in Indianapolis. Jeff?
Yes, my website is jrcoxlawllc.com, just so you can hear it over the lawnmower.
Yeah, and we're talking today about various aspects of the City-County Council. We just got through talking about the ordinance that was passed by the City-County Council affecting hotel workers in Indianapolis, but also a second real big issue that's been before the City-County Council this summer has had to do with domestic partners and benefits provided by the City of Indianapolis and Marion County. It's both governments.
It's Unigov.
Yeah. It came into effect in January 1, 1970, I think.
Yeah. Which it wasn't a full consolidation. They call it that, but it's...
Police and the fire and the schools, they were...
Right.
They
Well, schools were completely different governmental entities, so that wasn't going to be combined anyway. But police and fire, that's something, that's something different.
So domestic partner benefits it got introduced. Where is it at now?
It has just passed the committee, the rules.
And it passed
unanimously, 7-0.
And how many Republicans were? What committee? How many Republicans were on that?
It was the Rules Committee, and I believe there were 2 Republicans on that committee.
Okay. And it's going to be heard at the council on Monday.
Tomorrow, the 13th.
Okay. What are the provisions of the domestic partner ordinance?
The ordinance itself allows for a registration of domestic partnership for city employees to have an extension of city benefits to them in regards to health insurance benefits as well as medical leave and things like that.
And that would mean that would apply not only to non-married gay couples, but because there's no marriage here in Indianapolis recognized, but also heterosexual couples. Is that correct?
Right. It extends to all unmarried couples.
Go ahead.
So, first of all, do they have to cohabitate?
Yes, they have to have lived together for at least 365 days.
Okay.
Are there any other indicia of the relationship necessary to establish that?
Yeah, there are about 10 qualifiers that are more fraud prevention type mechanisms within the ordinance, such as your driver's license has to have the same address on it, joint checking account, joint credit of various sorts, will, anything that has both your names on it is a legal document.
Well, you're not required to have all of that, are you?
No,
because I know.
No. I think
How many are you required to have?
3 of the list of 10.
Okay. Because a lot of married couples don't have joint
That was
accounts.
exactly my point when we were going through the list. I said, I know a number of married couples that don't have joint checking accounts, that don't have commingled financial obligations such as credit or mortgages. If you're living in an apartment, typically you will both be on the lease, just as a matter of personal protection for each person. But not every married couple will have a car in both names or a mortgage in both names. The problem with wills that we're afraid of, or even insurance benefits, life insurance, things like that, is some people have children from previous marriage, and they have their children on as primary beneficiaries. So they're not likely to remove them and put somebody on just for domestic partnership. But there's also other benefits too. The largest percentage of people will not be able to take advantage of that, the actual health benefits associated with domestic
why is
partnership.
that part we talked off camera? I didn't quite understand.
Well, Indianapolis has in our benefits package an exclusion rule that says that if your spouse or your partner has the ability to get insurance through their employer, they're automatically disqualified from receiving city benefits. So that provision knocks down the possibility of just huge number, the majority of people that would otherwise qualify.
But what if the other employer had the same thing? Said if you can get benefits from the other entity.
Well, that just means that each employee would have to have their own insurance. through their employer.
Yeah, but what if it's really a lousy plan for the other partner? I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
That's one of the reasons why it's not a perfect provision, but it does. I mean, the idea, I guess, its essence is that the city wouldn't be including that many more people. So,
Well,
it's
and
a cost savings mechanism.
Of course, my point on it is that if we had national health care, that would be a moot
That's
point.
Mark's solution to everything.
Yeah, although the health insurance Benny, is not necessarily something that there are other communities that have established ordinances like this. And in some of those communities, the domestic partner that's not employed by the governmental entity, chooses not to have the insurance because they get taxed for that.
No, not the non-employee. It's the employee that gets taxed.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
it's taxed because if they're not a heterosexual couple.
No, both couples, either gay or straight. If you're getting domestic partnership benefits and you're not married, you're taxed. So
even if it were
that's a-
common law marriage, that's considered marriage. It's
We
not.
don't have common law marriage.
Not in Indiana. Other states have it though.
Yeah, but this ordinance doesn't cover people in other states.
I understand that, but other states have the domestic partner ordinance. So some people choose not to take the insurance. In other cities,
I'm sure they may, if the tax liabilities are greater than they can handle, then
No.
that would be one reason why they wouldn't. Or they may have insurance through their employer.
and especially since the Affordable Care Act went through. I mean,
Or they could live in Massachusetts where they already had it.
Didn't go through, Mark. It's still a state-by-state basis.
Well,
in terms of the Medicaid issue.
yeah, but the thing about the whole thing about the prices, we went from paying $1,000 each to now paying under $600 joint for health insurance. I'm sorry, and this is not a campaign ad for President Obama, who's championing
Why not?
of that program and able
Because
us.
we'd lose a lot of viewership if it was.
well.
No, we wouldn't. So the objections that people have, I mean, my opinion, Paul's opinion is,
My opinion, I think Jeff's are the same.
yeah. And,
We are.
let
but-
Jeff.
Go ahead, Jeff. Articulate my position because you will do it much better than I will.
Well,
And actually, that's not a mower. We only are playing that as a sound in the background to simulate a real backyard deck during the summer. Go ahead, Jeff.
wow, that's putting the pressure on me because I'm now at the point where I'm sort of, I can go either way on whether we have a single payer plan or not. I can understand why you have a single payer plan. The problem with the single payer plan that is the quality of care would tend to go down while the taxes would go up. And in addition, you would have longer waits for essential care, and that essential care would be cut back or rationed. But
I don't believe that's true.
That's already happening.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
I thought you were going to talk about domestic partner benefits.
Yeah, I did too.
And,
Well, you were
and you
talking-
do not reflect my views, by the way, on
Well,
that.
no, yeah, but you were talking healthcare.
Well, I know we were trying to transition and we didn't do a good job.
No, we
Okay,
didn't.
well,
So
geez,
talk about
sorry.
the domestic partnership.
Your position on domestic partner benefits, I believe, is similar to mine.
Yeah, I support the domestic partner ordinance wholeheartedly. I think it's probably overbroad because I don't think it should include heterosexual couples. And I think what that's going to do is actually create an incentive for fraud among heterosexual couples in order to get especially the health care.
What would be fraudulent? What part of
They'll just declare themselves a couple, and then they'll find the fraudulent.
So you're saying that a male and female who are living together for over a year and have joint checking accounts or driver's license with the same address, I mean, all these other provisions that are met, would not be a couple?
They may not be. They may just be roommates,
so-
or they could move in quickly, and then they could get that information behind them.
There's no intimacy requirement.
You can.
There's no
Fake
intimacy
that
requirement
stuff.
for marriage either.
That's
quite
true.
frankly.
Yeah, but no, but you've got the piece of paper that
And I
says.
know a lot of them are.
Yeah, but you've got the proof in that you've got the evidence, the single piece of evidence that says these people are a couple, and so you can treat them as a couple.
like the affidavit for domestic partnerships. That kind of evidence, the paper.
Well, except you have a declaration of marriage either by a judge or by a priest. In the affidavit that
No,
you're talking
no,
about,
also-
all you
no,
do
no,
is
no.
you sign it.
No,
Well, that's all a marriage license essentially is.
It's not just a judge or a priest. There are other people who can officiate over marriages.
Yeah,
So
well,
look at-
generally, I mean, you don't even
that's-
have a captain of a
the-
ship
the-
available.
The reality
Do you have a
is,
cruise ship around here?
the reality is that that marriage license is only really valid if it goes through the proper channels of the clerk's office. And so that's essentially what it is, a document that says the clerk has got the proper notification that you are in fact what you say you are. You're married now.
Okay, okay, to me, the reason and the only reason for domestic partner benefits, and you disagree on this, I know, is the fact that same-sex couples can't get married. And I think that was the impetus for it, and I agree with what Jeff is saying. Marriage is about making a major commitment to someone, and I
Sometimes.
don't I don't like the idea of
Well, it's still a major commitment no matter how you look at it.
to just say, okay, we're going to have this other level, and you don't need to make a major commitment to get benefits.
and I think it's actually going to.
It undermines traditional marriage.
Well, that does undermine it. I can understand how it affects me. I don't know, but
getting married for benefits undermines the institution of marriage, the sanctity of marriage. If there is anything that would do harm to marriage, it is using benefits as bait to get people into that institution.
so instead you use benefits as bait to get people to declare that they're a couple. So how is that better?
There are three reasons why a couple may not want to do that. First of all, you're signing an affidavit, which would put you under oath for saying that you are what you are. Then you have the possibility of insurance fraud for defrauding the insurance company, that you weren't in fact a couple. Then there's the fact that you probably lose your job too. So there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't really want to do that, unless of course you were a couple.
And it's also so extremely nebulous in terms of the definitions and in terms of even the proof that you're talking about. I understand that you consider them to be, they help prevent fraud, but you can fake all that stuff. You really can.
Yeah, but
It's harder to fake a marriage.
Well, wait a minute. If two people, have you ever lived with a person, for any period of time in a relationship like that?
No.
Okay, like if you're living with somebody, if you make it a year and you're not married, I think that's kind of like, okay, you should get kind of a medal or something. I think that's not an unreasonable indicator of a relationship. And then to put the marriage thing in, my view on marriage is like you have to wait 2 days to get married.
You need to be very careful here because your wife is running the camera.
You got to wait 2 days.
And she's
to
editing it too.
You got to wait 2 days to get married, but you got to wait 60 days to get divorced. I think they should flip that.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think they really should flip
We
that.
need a waiting period for marriage.
Yeah, but if two people are in a
Right here, for domestic partnerships, it's a year.
yeah,
You have to wait a year.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Be together for
the
a
problem
year.
is that's easy to fake.
No, you have to be able to show that you've been living together for a year.
Yeah, you sign an affidavit. Whoop-de-doo. People
Well,
sign affidavits all the time that aren't true. And they're not enforced either. So I signed this under the penalty of perjury. Has anyone ever been prosecuted for
yeah,
that?
but here's
Got a point about that.
We're getting towards the end of this segment. We'll get back to this on our next segment on the domestic partnership. We'll get back. Be right back.